Hello, parents and students. I'm Isaac Davenport, the agriculture teacher at Spring Creek Middle School, and I've been asked to share with you the COVID 19 student breakfast and lunch meal service procedures for our re entry into, school. So, knowing that we are entering in a different way, there are some more precautions that we are taking, and we want to take the time to share with students and parents what some of those precautions are and talk about what those precautions will look like. So, without further ado, let's talk about what the meals are going to look like at Spring Creek Middle School and in Wayne County as we are entering the 2020 2021 school year. So, the student meal types are going to follow the summer food service program pattern until further notice. So essentially, it breaks down that breakfast is going to be one main entree, one half cup serving of fruit juice, and one 8-ounce serving of milk. Lunch is going to be one main entree, one half cup serving of a vegetable, and one half cup serving of fruit, and one 8-ounce serving of milk. Now, one little note that we need to make sure that everybody knows right now is that all meals are going to be bagged individually. So your students will receive an individual bagged meal. And students with a completed food and allergen medical statement or a fluid milk substitution form on file, these will be observed when we get that notification. When the school has that and we're able to pass that to cafeteria services, those exceptions and those allergen substitutions will be made. Parents with enrolled students at multiple schools may also pick up the meals from the closest school for all students. Now, we'll speak on that in just a moment as we're talking about the pickup of meals on Wednesdays. Let's move forward and talk about what things are going to look like on our regular A and B days in our cohorts. So, first of all, the Spring Creek Middle School breakfast procedure is that students are going to eat in the cafeteria. We are going to be using time as a public health control procedure, and those are going to be followed by documenting the time that the food is removed from the hot and cold holding area and bagged for students to pick up in the cafeteria. All breakfast and lunch bagged meals are going to be placed in their appropriate containers. In this case, they're going to be placed in containers for the student to pick up their breakfast. Students will enter the cafeteria keeping a 6-foot distance, and students will be able to pick up one breakfast and exit by the way of the cashier. The cashier will count the number of students that go through the meal line, and students will be able to sit anywhere that is marked with this gator icon. So you can see that wherever the student would like to sit, if it is marked with this gator, they will be allowed to sit there. We are placing those in order to institute social distancing at the seats in the cafeteria. After students eat, assigned cafeteria staff and assigned staff will sanitize and disinfect the tables and the seats, ending the breakfast procedure for the morning routine. Students will also be expected to throw away any leftovers or garbage into the appropriate trash cans on their way to exiting the cafeteria. Now, next up is our lunchtime procedure. At Spring Creek, students will be getting their meals delivered to their classroom. So all of these meals are going to be bagged, and all the meal components are going to be individually cupped and or wrapped. Classroom teachers will tell the cafeteria staff, the cafeteria manager, how many meals a student is going to need for their class that day. The bagged meals are going to be placed into containers on a cart by classroom for no contact distribution. Essentially, what that means is that our cafeteria staff will bag these meals, these lunches. A cart will be taken to the classroom or just outside the classroom, and students and teachers will socially distance and appropriately take one bag from the cart at a time. Time as a public health control procedure will be followed by placing placing the time the meals were prepared on each classroom container. So the students will know and the teachers will know what time the meals were prepared, and they will be aware that the meal is fresh. The fourth step is that the teacher will then retrieve the container and distribute the meals to each student. So our cafeteria staff is going to prepare the meals, cart the meals down, and the teacher will take the container and distribute the meals to each student through no contact delivery. Our cleanup procedure for Spring Creek Middle School is trash cans are going to be placed at both ends of the grade level hallways. So there will be a trash can for the classrooms at the front of the hallway and a trash can at the far end of the hallways. And then teachers will dismiss students, throw away any trash from their meal into their trash cans while allowing for social distancing. Parent curbside pickup and the Wednesday meal service. So the procedure that we will be following is first the time as the TPHC procedures, the time as a control will be followed by placing the time that the food was removed from the hot cold holding area and then bagged for the parent to pick up at curbside. All of the breakfast and lunch bagged meals will be placed in transport containers and carried to the curbside area as designated by the school principal. Parents will be able to request the number of meals that they're going to need for their children and child. The bags are going to be placed at a 6-foot social distancing table per meals requested, and staff will socially distance themselves by stepping away from the table. Parents will then exit the vehicle and pick up the requested meals from the table, and then put the meals in the car and exit. Staff will adhere at all times to the North Carolina food and safety requirements and CDC guidelines in the preparation and delivery of all meals to students. With that being said, we know that there is a lot of things and a lot of change that is happening. Your safety is our main concern. Throughout the beginning of the year, things may alter and change. Please give us grace as we go through these difficult times, and give us the effort and the mercy that we need in order to provide a safe, functioning school for your students. Thank you.